The R32 GTR. 14 years ago, the legendary Skyline GTR made a sensational debut into the Japanese domestic market. It overwhelmed all competitors on the track, and in pursuit of the fastest lap time, the car was equipped with the ARTA ETS four-wheel drive system. The car was bred to win. In its first year, the R32 went undefeated in every single race in the Group A series. The strong and forceful GTR was reborn again. On the R33 GTR, the torque control system was upgraded. Later, the R34 was released with state-of-the-art aerodynamics. During the evolution of the GTR from the R32 to R34, rivaling car manufacturers all raced to develop cars just as fast, if not faster, than the GTR. Under those conditions, the production of the R34 Skyline GTR was canceled. There were rumors that the GTR heritage had ended for sure, but recently Nissan officially commented that the GTR emblem would be succeeded. Furthermore, BMI has obtained information that Nissan has established a maintenance factory close to Nürburgring. Will the next GTR live up to its reputation? What is expected from the future GTR? In this volume of BMI, we explore the vast prospect of the next generation GTR. Skyline GTR, the Prodigy. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution and the Subaru Impreza were continuously refined on a mission to defeat their arch-rival GTR. At the beginning, both cars were no match for the R32, but how does the power structure look now? Has the GTR lost its advantage? The GTRs against JDM Speedsters. Tsuchiya battle. Let's look at the entry list. Appearing in Best Motoring for the first time, the Impreza WRX Spec C Limited. This car is equipped with a center control differential switch. The driver is Naoki Hattori. From the Lancer family, the Evolution 8 GSR enters the race. With the AYC and the ACD as its weapon, will we see the famous zero counter steer? Nakaya is in the driver's seat. Going against two of the fastest four-wheel drive JDMs, how will the GTRs handle the race? This R34 is Best Motoring's very own. Recently, we completely reassembled the turbo system, so it's running like new. Will the 190-kilogram weight disadvantage against the Impreza be fatal? The car is equipped with Nismo's R-Tune brake pads. Eldest but razor sharp, Gansan at the wheel. Next, the R33 GTR. Today we have the 1997 V-Spec model. This car is 20 kilos lighter than the R34. Former N1 Taikyu GTR driver Takeuchi takes over. The R32 GTR is the most compact car of the three models. This car has the best power-weight ratio among the three. However, it's still 130 kilos heavier than the Impreza. R32 GTR enthusiast Tsuchiya at the controls. Last but not least, we have the V35 Skyline as a special entry, better known as the Infiniti G35 in North America. Having the front midship chassis layout with 280 horsepower, this car will be a good reference to predict the next GTR chassis layout. The driver is Michigami.
せめて3人には勝ちたいな。
Tsuchiya 5-lap battle. And they're off. With a rocket start, Gansan's R34 moves to good position. The Lancer is sandwiched by the two GTRs. Let's check out the replay from the Lancer. It was off to a good start, but perhaps the acceleration was the same with the R33. Yep, to win a Best Motoring battle, you've got to hang in and secure a good spot at the start. The old guy ain't no sitting duck. Gansan with a great start. Nakaya passes the R32. From the Dunlop corner, Tsuchiya with zero counter steering easily passes the V35 Skyline and gets in second. The other super four-wheel drive machine, the Impreza, is having a hard time getting out of the bunch. Hey, Hattori-san, you better hurry or Gonsan's getting away.
GTR も過去の車になってしまうかな。
The R33 fights desperately to keep its position. The four-wheel drive cornering machine Impreza passes the R33.
やっぱ全然ね、今の車のが止まる曲がる。 加速も全然、トラクションも全然かかってますよね。トラクションかかんないんだよ。こんなに滑っちゃう。
On the other hand, Tsuchiya's Evo is fast, even when it's sliding. The AYC enables the car to get maximum traction when accelerating.
ガンサももうちょっとエンジンがね、まだトルクよりももうピックアップだよね。絶対値よりも。
Despite Tsuchiya's complaints, the Evo is right behind the R34. Hattori's ready to gang up on the R34.
先よりアンダーが強いです。
Hattori marked the fastest lap just now. Let's check out his driving.
センターでもう一個緩くしてみます。よいしょ。この車ね。 パワーかけるとウィーンって回ってってくれるんだけど、よいしょ、なんかねパワーをかけて走ると曲がる。ただそれまでの例えばターンインの時の陽モーメントの中心とパワーをかけた時パワーオン時の陽の中心が違う。
2 laps to go. Let's see if Gonsan manages to get away. Tsuchiya with his R32 on the attack. Since the R32 isn't equipped with an oil cooler, the oil temperature is already at 130 degrees Celsius.
っていうかこの3人中古車屋さんで売ってるらしいけどすごい程度いいね。かなりリアがシビア。
At the top of the pack are the Evo and the R34 GTR. Tsuchiya on the chase and Gonsan might be in a little trouble.
GTR 頑張れよ。シャイン GTR。
Here goes Hattori in the Impreza. The Impreza is showing a little understeering. Only a lap to go.
ちょっとブレーキがきつくなっちゃったよ。
Hattori has now caught up with the Evo. He has to take on the Evo before challenging the R34. This might be a lucky break for Gonsan. Might just get away while the Evo and the Impreza go at it behind him. But the R34 is also displaying some understeering. It's obvious that Tsuchiya's Evo is shortening the gap at the corner entry braking point. But look out! Hattori's Impreza is staying right behind the Evo.
よし、今度は行った。
There they go. The Evo is hanging in with AYC, but it looks like the Impreza is inching forward with great corner balance.
よし、行った。勝った。
The R34 won the race, but the Evo and Impreza were right on Gonsan's tail. The Skyline V35 and the R32 was a good matchup as well.
ちょっと気になるマシンチェックの親戚みたいなコーナー今回はですね、
はい、
ちょっと次期 GTR をこのコーナーでちょっと探ってみようと、
俺らが探る
という感じでですね、Z とマーチを持ってきました。
これどういうつながりが
これつながり、日産つながりっていうところ以外にも
すごい広いなそれ。
可能性これありっていうところをちょっと見てもらおうと思って。
はい。
Let's check out the Z first. Zell International, who specializes in selling used GTRs, built this particular car. This Z actually ran Pikes Peak in 2003. This car is here today because there's a possibility that the next GTR will use the same FM platform as this Z. The interesting part about this car is that there's an RB26 motor inside. The car is also equipped with the Atessa ETS, straight from the GTR. So it may look like a 350Z, but it's actually more like a GTR.
バイクスピーク仕様ということで、どんな車で走ってるかちょっと見てみたいと思います。
We've picked Tsukuba's Course 1000 for the impression. The smaller course with tighter corners should tell us a lot about the car's handling.
遊んでます。いやけどね、あり。面白いよ。パワーない。ちょっとパワーない。
Hattori usually doesn't drift much. He's typically nervous about losing traction, but it seems this car's natural handling isn't bothering him at all.
面白い。車のねバランスとしてはやっぱサーキット向けというよりもちょっとブレーキバランスとかが多分そういうダート系かなっていう気はするんですが、いやけど足のブレーキでこうケツのきっかけ作れる感じだよね。それでうまくあとアングル保ってくれるんだけど、どうしてもエンジンがね合ってないということで、もうちょっと本当はトルクが欲しい。これでもうちょっとエンジンパワー的にあればもっと楽しい車になる。
Now it's Tsukuya's turn. With the interior stripped off, the car weighs about 1,600 kilos. The RB motor is close to stock.
としてて、どうスライドしようが縁石乗ろうがもうこのマスがガチッとしてる。でだからゆえに足がすごい動くから、そのスライドした時のコントロール、例えばスライドしてるとこに縁石があってもトーンって足が動いてくれて、ボディのグニョっていうのがないからすごい乗りやすい。このボディ剛性とそれからフットワークの良さと車の軽さ、こういうバランスも取れるっていうことだよね。
Although the body rigidity of the Skyline V35 was improved, the weight of the car canceled out its handling potential. It's obvious the engine needs more power, and that might mean the next GTR must come with a turbo. With the FM platform, four-wheel drive, and a turbo, the car is bound to weigh 1,690 kilos or more. This is heavier than the current GTR. Perhaps the FM platform is not an option for the next GTR's chassis. Let's look at the March now. The March is equipped with Nissan's newest four-wheel drive system called the E4WD. Normally the car runs as a front-wheel drive, while a motorized four-wheel drive system can be engaged with a simple flick of a button. Currently the system is mainly utilized during low mu situations when the car is starting off. The unit weighs 70 kilograms, and with it the car can lose the propeller shaft. With the fast development of technology, it can be made lighter. It's a technology we may be able to see on the GTR. Making use of this E4WD system, the GTR would have the option of a mid-shift engine layout, with the front wheels being driven by the E4WD system. This whole idea brings out the possibility of Nissan using the Mid-4 concept for the next GTR. 2 years before the debut of the R32 GTR, Nissan introduced a concept car called the Mid-4. Because of the high production costs, the Mid-4 concept was never realized. Most of the super sports cars of today are actually rear-wheel drives. A front-engine, rear-wheel drive layout will surely be a candidate for the next GTR. Around the world, there are many FR machines with over 300 horsepower. To check the possibility of an FR layout, we brought out the Amuse 350Z. This car outputs 308 horsepower on the dyno and successfully shaved off 110 kilograms from its original weight.
僕がもう感動したのがこのドアのね、これドアカーボンなんですよ実は。で、カーボンって最近結構どこでもこういうにするけど、まず作りがめちゃくちゃ綺麗。このまんまなんか日産の純正部品で出せるぐらいの仕上がりで、でびっくりするのはドアのカーボンだけじゃなくて、フェンダーもファイバー、それからボンネットもカーボン。フェンダーのこのスリットなんか見かすでしょこれ。でこれ多分ね肌をこのドアの肌が映るかなこのカメラで。このカーボンの肌をね埋めようと思えば多分サンダーで削って塗装をきれいにすれば埋まると思うんで、でもこのカーボンだぞっていうのをちょっと網目を残したところがまた憎いね。これ分かる人にしか分かんない。昔板金屋に4年いた僕はよく分かるんですけど、こだわりの多分塗装だと思います。というわけで、軽量化されたこの FM パッケージのポテンシャルの高さをちょっと見てみたいなと思います。なんか楽しいぞこれ。ブレーキも効くよ車軽いから。曲がるすごいフロントの荷重の乗り方がいい。面白い。すんげえ楽しいぞこの車。トラクションもいいよ。ベタ褒めだけど本当にいいぞこの車。こういう車に仕上がってくれればな、次期 GTR も。
Despite debris on the track, the Amuse 350Z easily clocked the 4-second range.
だけど低速コーナーでのトラクションのかかりとか、高速コーナーでこのフロントの粘りとか、お世辞抜きにいいぞこの車。やっぱ軽さだな、軽さ。それとこのストレスなしに回るエンジンね、全域トルクフルなエンジンと、やっぱりボディのウェイトだよ。それとこの足の味付けもね、今日のこのローンとか気温に合ってる。いくらエンジンチューンしてもね、足がそれを受け止めなきゃ意味ないし、とにかくこの車に関しては前後バランスと、それから車重の軽さがエンジンのライトチューンと相まってすごくシンクロしていい動きでコーナーを立ち上がってる。だから4駆はいらないよね。 FR でミッドシップ、フロントミッドシップでバランスさえ取ればこういう動きをするっていうね、本当お手本のような車でした。
Let's hear what our reviewers expect from the next GTR.
前回のモーターショーで GTR コンセプトっていうのが発表されて、日産としては、GTR 絶対出すぞっていうのがね、アナウンスとしてはされてるんですけども、いつ出るか僕知りませんけども、もし出されるんであればね、 本当に世の中のこの非常に進歩の早いところをよく研究して、それでその時点で、世界でね通用するGTR の名に恥じない素晴らしい車を作ってもらいたいというふうに思うんですね。
僕にとったらやっぱ GTR っていう車っていうのはすごい憧れの車ではありますし、今回バトルしてみて GTR ではなかったんですけども、比較的GTR も、V35 も、一番乗って思ったのがやっぱ車重がちょっと重いっていうことで、もう少し、車重も、軽くしてもらえれば、ブレーキ性能も上がり、もっともっとその車のポテンシャルを最大限に活かせるかなという気がします。
もうボディも本当に NSX みたいにアルミにして、例えばねコストがかかって車自体が高くなってもいいと思うんですよね。ただやっぱスカイライン GTR という伝統は守ってほしい、日本一速いスポーツカーであってほしいと思います。
フェラーリ、ポルシェ、その他ねスーパーカーと呼ばれる車の中に入っても、決して、見栄えから質から全て絶対見劣りしないというかね、その中でも、これ GTR の方がいいんじゃないっていうようなね、そういう質感を持たせてくれて、なおかつかっこいい車で速い、それを求めてます。少々時間かかってもいいと思います。絶対いい車を作るまで逆に出さないでほしいです。
34ももちろん生産が終わってですね、生産が終わって、中古車になって、中古車を見るとじゃあ34が欲しいのかっていうと、むしろ32の GTR の程度のいい車の方がね、持つ喜びがあるかなっていう。でもちろん速さは絶対なきゃいけない車だと思いますし、性能にプラス美しさも必要だけども、なんとか買いたいっていう、やっと手に入れたっていう、そういう喜びがあるような車になってくれたらいいなと思います。
Over the last 14 years, the R32, R33, and R34 GTRs were benchmarks of JDM sports cars. BMI and all of our reviewers would like to see the next GTR become the benchmark of the world sports car genre. The GTR legacy lives on.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Get the championship.
Thank you.
WRC.
You too.
Yeah. Thank you. 今日はチャンピオンカーのインプレッサの WRC カーと、それからソルベルグ来てもらいました。ちょっといくつかねインタビューしたいんですけども、昨年のシーズンちょっと振り返ってみていただいてどうでしたか？
Well, it's been a good season. We had some ups and downs like everybody else, but overall it's been very, very good. The team have worked very hard, and the Subaru worked very well. So I'm very, very pleased.
最初のシーズン序盤あまり成績がねパッとしなくて、で後半連続して勝つようなシーンが見られたんですけど、なんか車の面でのデベロップメントとからピーター自身のそのドライビングになんかひらめきみたいなのあったんですか？
Everything has come more together the whole year, especially the last half of the season. But it's just small thing improvement all the time, and at the same time we have gone up a level with the pushing. And it's quite easy. Everything came together in the team with the tires and me and everything. So we always need a small warm up the first part of the season.
で特にリアのウイングがね垂直フィンが立ってすごくダウンフォース増えて、あれってすごく効果あるんですか？
Yeah, it helps a lot on the very fast rallies. When you are around 200 kilometers,
Yeah.
long corners, the back end just sits there, and it's a good improvement, especially for traction and everything. So we are very pleased with that.
このウイングはノーマルカーにはついてないんですけどもね、ノーマルのインプレッサの STI それドライブしたことありますか？
Yes, I have, and if you go into both cars, you can feel the same feeling of the chassis, and it's definitely some things is very similar there, and that's a good thing, you know, and that's how it should be also, because they should be closer to each other.
それで今日はですねこのターマックコースなんですけども、これから走ってもらうんですが、ターマックコースそれからサーキットドライブそういったものはピーター自身はどうなんですか？
Well, tarmac I like a lot. I think actually I'm better on tarmac than gravel, and actually in '96 I got the offer to drive They ran the Spider Cup in front of the Formula 1 races. But actually I think it's a little bit boring because you brake at the same place, throttle at the same place. I need action. And for me I get that kick with the rally car, and but it's good fun. I like, you know, lines flowing, and it's good fun.
じゃあ今日はいろんな走りこれから見せてもらいます。
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Along with his partner Phil Mills, Solberg starts off to take down the course details.
Keep left over crest. Into early 6 right minus. New opens. 80. Keep left to crest. To 6 right minus. 20. 4 left minus half long. New opens. 50. 6 left. It opens over crest.
They're going very slow, Solberg reading the course, while Mills takes it down into his navigation book.
Yeah, the stage, it's probably one of the most interesting stages, asphalt stages we've done this year actually. It's very good. It's got some very interesting sections and quite technical over crests. Very, very fast in the first part, but yes, it's a very, very good stage and very, very interesting one. There's lots of things with pace notes because it's a very technical subject, but the main thing is that the delivery of the pace notes is at the correct time, and you have to make some very special markings in the pace notes that you read them faster or read them slower, and that comes after many, many years of competing together. You know exactly when to read them and how fast to read them, so that's the main thing, is to put the special markings into the pace notes during the reconnaissance so you know exactly what speed to read them back on the day of the rally. 2 right plus half long tightens, opens to crest,
No, just half long.
into 5 left minus, keep in, into early 4 right plus, 4 left minus, opens 50, 5 left plus to the crest, half long, opens 40, 6 right minus, half long over
5
crest.
left plus half long over crest. The stages are very good. The thing is, it's a little bit damp now, it's quite slippery. And it looks like some parts, some corners are more slippery than others. Very smooth, quite quick, and I think it's going to be good fun actually.
To warm up the WRC champion, we brought the stock Impreza WRX Spec C. This is probably the fastest 2-liter car in the world. Let's see how the world's fastest driver takes it around the course. Following the Spec C, we have Nakaya in the Lancer Evolution RS. And there they go. Most of the course is wet, with some dry spots where the sun has been hitting. One of the trickiest conditions to drive on. Solberg driving through the first few corners with moderate tail slides. Coming up to the tight turn, Solberg makes the handbrake turn without heel and toe. Until now, Solberg is driving with one hand on the steering wheel and the other on the gear shift. This course should be difficult to drive with one hand unless he knows the course already. Solberg's driving line isn't an out-in-out line, but rather he's tracing a very smooth line. His steering work is also very smooth, without any jerky motions. Calmly stepping on the gas and on the brakes, Solberg is driving very neatly through the course. Perhaps this clever and cool driving style is what made Solberg the WRC champion. We expected him to tear up the course with rally-style driving, but his calm and clever driving surprised us all.
Drive slow on the roads, you know, drive fast on the closed roads like we do here, and you have to try to be very neat, no attack, because as soon as you try to push hard, you go slower. So keep it neat and steady.
Finally, we bring out the WRC Champion machine. Compared to the 2002 model, the engine torque of this car was increased by 12 kilos for a final output of 60 kilos. The increase is said to be accomplished by a redesigned turbocharger and exhaust system. The aerodynamics of this car was much improved, with newly added vertical fins on the rear wing spoiler.
なかなかねWR カーをこうしてじっくり見させてもらう機会っていうのはないんで、今日はぜひいろいろタミヤさんに解説してもらいたいと思うんですけども。Do you have any restrictors here?
Yes, a restrictor, which is on the turbo.
Yeah.
And the FIA says it's 34 millimeters maximum.
34 millimeters.
It's in the intake.
インテーク。ここにですねリストリクターをつけて、34パイのリストリクターをつけなきゃいけないと FIA の方で決まってて、それで、馬力を制限してるってことですね。What is different?
The basic layout is the same. It's just it's stiffer. The struts are bigger because we need more travel.
Which maker shock absorber?
Prodrive.
Prodrive. You. でここに外付けの、ショックアブソーバーのタンクがついてる。Prodrive. This is clutch pedal. Looks very small.
It is because we don't use it. Only for pulling out of the start. But we don't use it.
So normally driver use left foot braking.
Yeah.
This looks very good.
Yeah.
This works very good.
It's a good appendix, an aerodynamic device.
Yeah.
It's allowed in the regulation to change the appendix as long as it's complied with the road regulation. So this is could be used on the road. It helps the car a lot with downforce.
でこれこの間ちょっと高速サーキットの映像を見せたらジャンピングした時に今までフロントからこう着地してたのはこれをつけてからですねリアからこう着地するようになって非常に車安定してるシーンもあったんで非常に効果的だということですね。
Are you guys ready? The 2003 WRC champion takes on the winding roads of Gunsai Touge. The 2003 WRC season was a great year for Petter Solberg. BMI wishes him the best of luck for the 2004 season.
Well, you know, we have to try to do the same next year. I know that Subaru is working very, very hard to get the development performance all the time. But I'm going to try to win the manufacturers and also the championship. And hopefully try to beat Tommy Mekken, the legend, 4-time world champion. So
You 5.
I will try 5.
Okay.
And you good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. You too.
As a young boy, he used to ride his 50cc motorbike throughout the night, just to see Kunimitsu Takahashi race his Skyline GTR at Fuji Speedway. Watching Kunimitsu drive the GTR at great speeds, young Keiichi Tsuchiya dreamed of sitting in the driver's seat one day. In 1992, Tsuchiya's dream began to realize. His partner became none other than Kunimitsu Takahashi to drive the GTR. And on May 17th of his debut year, Tsuchiya was already standing on the third place podium. Tsuchiya's accomplishments never stopped. Partnering with his mentor, Tsuchiya won the Le Mans class title. He was again standing on the podium at Le Mans, this time as the second place driver overall. Tsuchiya looks back and says that he recently began to understand how Kunimitsu felt as the mentor to young Tsuchiya. Keiichi Tsuchiya, a racing driver in his final years. Thinking of the drama that will take place in the next race. Round 3 of the 2003 JGTC series was held at Sugo. 11 years ago, Tsuchiya was tearing up the track with his instructor and partner, Kunimitsu Takahashi.
その土屋圭一が本当にその僕の若い頃のような感じがすごく受けましてね。で、彼がもう要するに、ドライビングもかなりドリフトが上手な土屋圭一ですごく有名だったわけなんですけども。もう本当に天才的だなと思う、要するにドライビングもしますしね、で本当にいろんなことを考えてね、喋ってくれるんで、そういった意味で車の良さを伝えてくれたといったところだったような気がするんですよ。やはり、これから土屋圭ちゃん的なね、時代を、背負ってもらって、そして圭ちゃんからまた世代にモータースポーツの素晴らしさを伝えてもらいたいなというようなところで、その時代が来てるんじゃないかなと思うんですよね。
まあ、スゴって言えばもうグループ A 時代の国さんと初めて表彰台に乗ったっていうね、その全日本に来て一番でかいレースで国さんと組ませてもらって初めて表彰台に乗ったっていう、俺にとってはすごい思い出がある作品ですね。自分がずっと憧れ続けてきた人だしね、やっぱああいう人になりたいなっていう、すごく今国さんの気持ちがよくわかるしね、俺と組んでくれて、それから何年も何年も俺を育ててくれて、それが今ようやくわかるかな。だから初友の時もそうだし、年色の時もそうだしね、今年は特にそうかな。俺が行った方が早いかもしれないし、予選はね。ただそれをやってたら育たないなっていう。国さんもやっぱりこう俺にある程度時期が来た時にやらせてくれて、俺はもうすごくね、その国さんの後ろでいたいなっていう、そういう縁の下の力持ちでいたかったのに、ある時期から国さんが俺を全面的に前に出すようにしてくれたから、それで俺はポンポンポンと来たんじゃないかな。その全日本でも臆することなくね、その星野さん、長谷美さんっていうそういう大御所の中でレースができたんじゃないかな。だから俺が育ったのはやっぱりあの人のおかげかな。
The third qualifying round of the series is about to begin. Again, Kaneishi will be the driver for the time attack. Last season, the ARTA team started from the pole position with a record time of 1 minute, 17.814 seconds. How will they do this year? With power and a well-balanced chassis, Esso Supra's Juichi Wakisaka breaks the course record after only a few laps. For the NSX that lacked power coming into the season, Takata Dome's Ryo Michigami tries desperately, but the pole position seemed far off in the distance. With quickness around the corners, Satoshi Motoyama, driving the Zanavi Nismo Skyline GTR, aggressively challenges the Esso Supra for pole position. The ARTA's Kaneishi reports a lack of grip on the front tires and goes in and out of the pits for adjustments. Kaneishi clocks his best time just before the end of the qualifying session, but ends up in 15th place. Race day, with 50,000 people eager to witness the spectacle of JGTC's third round. Just before the race begins, Tsuchiya pays a visit to his mentor, Kunimitsu Takahashi.
もうちょっとこれ前にいないといけないんだけどさ、そうですね、今年はしょうがないな、じっと我慢の子で、ケイちゃんも今年はじっと我慢の子だね、しょうがないですね、しょうがないね。
The green light was lit at 2 p.m. The first two rounds were all about Supras and Skylines. Will the NSX make a comeback in the third round? Toyota, Nissan, and Honda go head-to-head to take charge of the series. Kaneishi starts the race as the first driver from the 15th grid. Before this race, the ARTA NSX was given authorization to increase their modification scale by 2 levels. However, even with the additional modification, the top speed of the NSX was still 10 kilometers slower than the Supra. A bigger handicap remained in regards to acceleration speed. Going up the incline on the last corner, the lack of power compared to the Dunlop Supra driven by BMI Castor Hattori was obvious. Both cars are normally aspirated, but the Supra had a bigger engine displacement. Even though the NSX could keep up with the Supras in the infield corners, there was no way to pass them in the race. All Toshihiro could do was to accept the circumstances. While the top cars began their routine pit stops, the ARTA NSX stayed out on the track. But the tires were already gone. The ARTA team prepares for the pit stop. Finally, on the 43rd lap, as a result of staying on the track longer, the ARTA team was now in second place. The task of securing any points for the team was left to Tsuchiya. For the last half of the race, the ARTA team decides to use hard compound tires. Tsuchiya kept driving at a steady pace. Tsuchiya's prey was the works team, Mugen's NSX. Tsuchiya pushed the car to its limits, turning the car using the trackside curves. 30 laps remaining in the race. All the NSXs in the race were now 1 lap behind the top group. Despite the distance to the top, Tsuchiya gave 100% in driving his NSX to the limit. However, the goddess of victory did not favor the ARTA team. The lap times began to slow down as road temperatures began to fall. To control the unbalanced NSX was becoming impossible. Although the Tom Supra led the race until the last lap, Esso Supra's Wakisaka jumped in front at the very end to grab the checkered flag. After being passed by the AU Supra, Tsuchiya came in 11th at the finish line. The result was agonizing.
な頑張ったらダメだよ。簡単に勝てるときって本当に何もしねえんだけどな、カウンターも何も。入ったね、ちくしょう。無限に追いついたときはいけるかなと思ったけどな。コーナーが遅いよな。もう低中速、高速全部。スープラとかスカイラインにはもうついていけない。ドライバー。
Since the Malaysian round was canceled this season, round 4 was held at Fuji Speedway instead, with a special two-race method. Both races were held on the same day, while a single driver drove each race. The ARTA NSX qualified in 14th place. Katsutomo Kaneishi drove the first 20-lap race, but finished in a disappointing 15th place. The tension from the results of the first race haunted the team. The second race was to start an hour after the first race. Then it started to rain again.
俺はもう降ってくれた方がいいよ。乾くより。俺はレインの方がいい。
Tsuchiya was determined. The rain was always on his side. The second race of 30 laps began. Tsuchiya was ready. Just before the start, the ARTA team changed their tires to intermediate rain tires. But it started pouring. The track was in full wet condition. All drivers were in the danger zone now. When the safety car came in after a crash on the course, the ARTA team commenced a pit stop to change the intermediate to full rain tires. With the pit stop, Tsuchiya was now in 35th place, but he wasn't about to give up. A determined man. On each corner, Tsuchiya closed the gap with the car in front. On the straightaway, he passed the Mobile 1 NSX. His mind was already on the next target in front. A few seconds wasn't a question anymore. Tsuchiya was driving at incredible speeds, even under risky conditions. Only the most skilled drivers can race in the rain. Far back from the top position, Tsuchiya showed his passion for racing and what he's truly made of. The crowd was mesmerized by Tsuchiya's driving. The JGTC series goes into the second half of the season. Tsuchiya's challenge continues on the next BMI with rounds 5 and 6. Fierce road surfaces refusing the cars that enter. Tight corners with nowhere to escape. A machine that can overcome all the conditions could only reign at the Touge. BMI Touge Showdown.
さあやってまいりました。峠の最強伝説。
はい。すごく人気あるらしいですよ、このコーナーは。
いやすごいよ。これ海外でブレイクしちゃって。
ですよね。普段からホットバンド人気あるんですけど、さらにこの峠になるとまた輪をかけて人気が出ちゃうっていう。
まあ魔王だからね。
千田さん言いますもんね。
今回はですね、峠200クラスです。第2弾。本当は先走りすぎた？先走りすぎた？
しもべどうしたのお前？用意するとか言ってたくせに。
僕用意したの。
ツッチー。
ツッチーとほら。 なんかほら
お前何これお前峠の魔王のしもぶくれ。
魔王のしもべの高田和美です。はじめまして。
Yes, we have the lovely Kazumi here today. She is the Ray Brigg race queen for the JGTC series.
さあそれでは峠最強です。今回は200クラス。
僕ねあんま好きじゃないんですよこの企画。
じゃあアキラにするか。
大好き。
大好きなの。大好きなのね。はい。じゃあそれでは本日は
危険な予感です。
危険だよな。すげえ危険だよ。
In round one of the Touge 200 class, the MRS brought in by Spirits went up against Tsuchiya's Monster Hut Chiroku and got whipped. Who's up for a challenge today? Let's go with Touge 200 class, round 2. As usual, the three drivers will ride each car for preliminary evaluation. The cars are judged on driving feel rather than speed, but we will be taking sector times for reference. Entry number 1. Garage Limit brings in the AZ1. Small but mighty, it has a high potential mid-shift engine layout.
そうですね、前回のカプシーノと比べると回答性は非常にいいんで、乗り方がちょっと難しいところもあるんですけれども、その辺がうまく合えばカプシーノよりは高結果が出せるんじゃないかなという気はしてますけど。
K で100馬力ってすごいことらしいよどうも。それでは行ってみたいと思います。
Even from the outside, you can tell that the car responds too much. The corners are fast though.
ちょっと怖いでしょ、いくらなんでも。
The car literally flies over the bumps. Taniguchi driving the AZ1 for the first time.
怖え、なんかいつリアが出るの、怖え。
Arito likes his dates to be very sensitive. How will he like this one?
この間カプチーノも良かったけど、これは
So he does.
ほとんどさ、他の多分車と比べてもらうと分かると思うんだけど、ほとんどステーリング切ってないもんこれ。切ってないっていうか切れないっていうの？ほら。
いや俺欲しいなこれ。
The second entry is an EP82 from Anfani. The owner of the car is one of our viewers.
うちはエンジンを担当してます。パワーよりはトルクを追っかけるようなセッティングになってます。
柔らかめにしてバンプとかにも踏んでいける足に作ってきました。土屋さんの86倒すために来たんで。
Ono appeared on BMI Volume 7 in the My Car Challenge segment and was put to shame by one of our cast, Kawasaki. How will his car do today? The rough and bumpy road surface of this course requires a slight understeer setup, and it seems Ono-san's car isn't doing too bad here.
今のところね、ちゃんとスムーズに乗り越えてるから、これは立派な足で、これ峠向き。
これ意外と中途半端なシビリアとかそういう車でも守れちゃうね。いやパワーと足回りのバランスはちょうどいいね。
Entry number 3 is again a front-wheel drive Integra Type R from Spoon.
ストリートチューンで、やってますので、ここのコースには絶対合ってると思います。ちょっと減衰の方も仕込んでいきましたんで、ちょっと乗っていただければすごく乗りやすいと思うのでよろしくお願いします。
The spoon-tuned B18 engine seems to be running with great rev balance and precision. Let's see how the car does going over the gaps on this course.
ちゃんとギャップを吸収してるよね。これは立派だね。86よりちょっと硬いかなっていうぐらい。
When Spoon brought in the EG6 last time, Taniguchi complained about the harsh ride. How's the car today?
足はしなやかだな。でもタイヤが食わない。
A abiding to regulations, this Integra is wearing stock Potenza RE010 tires, which may lack the real grip to match the suspension.
中間報告
The Anfani EP clocked a better time than the Spoon Integra R. What an upset so far. Before today's Touge battle, we visited Garage Motore in Saitama Prefecture. This shop handles the daily maintenance of Tsuchiya's Hachiroku.
そうそうたるメンバーですね。よく出ますね、スピリッツとかね。負けたくないですけどね、でもね。ここには負けたくねえな。そんなこと言ったら怒られちゃうのかな。
Mr. Ishihara at Motore knows his Hachirokus. The entry from Motore should be a top competitor for the battle.
一応ツインインジェクション化をしてまして、1キロあたりインジェクターを2つつけて、燃料と空気の混ざりを良くするような形で、動かしてます。頑張れるだけ頑張ってきたみたいな感じなんでよろしくお願いしたいと思います。
Look at Tsuchiya go from the start. The twin injection engine seems to be putting out more power than Tsuchiya's Hachiroku.
ちょっと藤原拓海っぽかったね今。
He clocks the fastest time on the downhill.